I always love the definition marketing is creating value. And so when it comes to social media, what I want to talk to you about is essentially creating value for yourself in social media, or perceived value. So people look at you and go, wow, this person's really interesting. I wonder what it would be like if I was to work with them. Now, that's a really important thing that I think you should have in your mind, is that you want people to work with you. And I kind of think that when it comes to social media, people blur the lines between, like, is it personal life? Is it professional life? I'm a big believer that we have one life. And I'm a big believer that we kind of need to know what it is that we're going for. And if we can tweak and grow to the point that how we are complements who we are, and how we are complements essentially where we want to go, that's really, really important. And you want to be prosperous coaches. You want to do really, really well. And so you want your content to invite in the people that you're going to work really well with, perhaps push away those that you're not going to work well with, and get people excited and confident and wanting to work with you. So that's kind of the first real thing. And what I'd encourage you to do is perhaps look through your social media channels right away and just look and think, if I was a prospective client, if I was looking at this person for the first time, would I want to work? Would I want to work with the person I see in front of me? And when I did this first, I was like, Jesus, so much of this content is out of date. It's not reflective of who I am. It's definitely not reflective of where I'm going. And I cleaned it up. Remember though, I did a much more interesting thing. I handed it to somebody that really I didn't even know. It was at a workshop. I didn't know the person. I said, hey, could you look through my Instagram and just give me an idea of the kind of image that I'm portraying here? Who do you see me as? Could you describe me from this content? And I was amazed again at just little things I'd missed. But ultimately speaking, everything is always telling a story, and everybody are always building impressions. And along the way to where we are now, we have been loads of other things, and we have been sharing loads of contradictory impressions. But now, as you are at the start of this career, you know where you've no doubt off the back of the work predominantly that Kyle's been doing, you've got a much clearer idea of who you are, and you've got a real idea in terms of where you want to go. I would encourage a cleaning up of your social presences. I think that's a really important first start. The second then is in the content that you share. And again, having those themes of like, I want to invite people in to work with me. I want them to be excited and wanting to work with me. I think that's really important. So when it comes to like, what content am I going to share? Well, you want it to tick that box so that when somebody sees it, they appreciate the content and they think to themselves, geez, that's valuable. This person is very interesting. I'd love to work with them. So what I like to encourage coaches to do is to share some of the breakthroughs they're having, where I used to think this, now I think this, and here's the impact it's brought to my life. I think that's really, really valuable. I think sharing some of the key messages, the content that they're learning, are the thought leaders that they subscribe to. I think that's really, really formative. I think as coaches, we sometimes take things very seriously. So sometimes having a bit of humor is really, really valuable. And when we engage with people, feedback, testimonials, these are really, really, really valuable. Nothing sells like somebody else that's engaged with you, because oftentimes when we're following somebody, yes, we'll listen to what they have to say, but we're really interested in terms of what people that have already engaged with you have to say. So that's key. Now, in terms of getting a bit of inspiration, what I always tell coaches at the start of their journey is to take a bit of time to look at other coaches similar to yourself. And no doubt you're going to like some of these, and you're not going to like some of these. And I'd encourage you to follow them both. Reason being, the ones that you don't like will help you perhaps put shape on the kind of content you don't want to put out there. And the ones that you do like will perhaps inspire you in terms of content themes for going forward. So I think that's really, really useful, is to have some role models, have some people that you can follow that will inspire, and either for the good or the bad. And I often think people just don't pay attention enough to coaches that they don't want to be, but they can be so formative in terms of helping you not become that, and step up all the more into who you want to be. That is a really, really helpful tool. So what I've kind of gone into is, one, clearing up your social media presence. Two, the kind of content that you can share. And three, where to get some inspiration from. Now, when it comes to social media for coaches, there's definitely a question of like, oh, I should be doing everything. I should be on Facebook, I should be on Instagram, I should be on TikTok, I should be on LinkedIn. And what I would encourage you on this one is that you play in your comfort zone. Play in the space that you enjoy. So like, if you're a natural Instagram user, that's fine. Just be on Instagram. If you are more of a TikTok person and that's your area or your zone of genius, sit there. You don't need to be on every platform. And I would encourage you actually to double down in, as I said, your space of comfort or your area of expertise, rather than dilute yourself across too many channels. Less is more, and quality over quantity. Now that leads me to my next point. A lot of the time, coaches, when it comes to social media, they think they need to do a post every day. Or I definitely saw a challenge to coaches, which was do a reel every day for 30 days. And I'm going to shoot that down right away. And this is my opinion. I'm quite open for you guys to take this with a pinch of salt. Our challenge points, you are completely welcome to challenge anything I share in this content. Feel free to link in with me on Instagram. But I would encourage you to post good quality, valuable content when it comes up for you, and give yourself time to create it. But don't stress and drive yourself to post every day and find yourself posting stuff that really, like, you kind of look at it a second time and wonder why that was ever posted. And I think that goes back to the very first point, that you want people to be interested in you. You want people to be curious of what it might be like to work with you. You want people to respect your knowledge and expertise and be excited by what might come from being in connection with you. You don't want someone to think that, Jesus, this person's just going to talk the ears off me. This person is just going to hit me with content all the time. So it is far, far better, I would say, to verge on less is more, and quality over quantity with your content. And then kind of the point that I want to kind of finish up with on is go easy on yourself. This journey, your journey as a coach, is going to be long, and your expertise in this area, social media, is going to grow and develop. And what I wanted to do in this module is I just wanted to open your eyes to the opportunity that's out there on social media. And there is such opportunity. I love it. Warren Buffett has this great quote that it takes 20 years to build a reputation. And there's a guy, Gary Vaynerchuk, who's like a social media authority, and he always says that social media is like word of mouth on steroids. Warren Buffett's 20 years to build your reputation was based on word of mouth. Gary Vaynerchuk's approach with regards to social media was, as I said, social media marketing is like word of mouth on steroids. And I really believe that you can do what perhaps you may have done in 20 years in the past in about 6 months on social media. There is such an opportunity on social media for you to reach and engage a wide audience and build an incredible brand for yourself. But the key thing to do that is, it's with quality content. It's with exciting content that helps open people's eyes and really entices them in to want to follow you all the more, engage with you all the more, and get really curious of what might come from working with you. So I yeah, I hope this is valuable to you. And as I said, I hope I've just opened your eyes to the opportunity that's out there for you on social media. And I've shared a couple of the kind of the first steps that you can take on your learning journey. And that's exactly what this is. This is this entryway into the first few steps. But it is something that there is no one way to do things right. The key thing is actually for you to find your own way, for you to trial and experiment and see what works and see what doesn't, learn from what doesn't, and refine accordingly. And hopefully on that course, if you just keep at it, day by day, as you set a little bit of time aside to work on your social media, you will learn. And if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, learning from all experiences, refining accordingly, your chances of success essentially are inevitable. And that's my wish for you, that, as I said, we inspire you on this course, we push you on, and you can start learning from here yourself. Again, there are literally millions of blog entries and articles on perfecting social media marketing for coaches, and there's all sorts of exercises and trials and challenges that you can do. Please don't do the 30-day, the 30 reel challenge, or overly kind of force yourself to create content when it and kind of push out content that isn't reflective of you, or isn't really quality and doesn't warrant attention, because that unfortunately can do more harm than good. But as I said, take everything with a pinch of salt, suck up all that you can learn, and hopefully, as I said, step by step from here, things are going to get easier. And then they'll no doubt complement your business. As I said, there's just so much opportunity for coaches out there on social media. I have a much deeper look into this coming up in a few weeks' time. And I really, really hope, as I said, this is the kind of groundwork to get you going on social media. And then in a few weeks' time, we'll meet you with a much, much greater deep dive into the space. But for now, see you well, and thank you.